Today we're going to look at Aethelflaed, one of the most underrated commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. Before we get started, I just want to say, if you aren't subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it if you would. It helps grow the channel and helps me create more quality Rise of Kingdoms content. Today we're taking a closer look at Aethelflaed, the most underrated commanders in the game. While she's incredibly easy to get and everyone should be able to expertise her quickly, she actually has a lot more usefulness than people originally realize. Starters, we're going to look at her skills. Her first skill provides damage to 5 targets in a forward-facing fan-shaped area. Also reduces their attack, defense, and health by 30%. 30% is actually huge. That's pretty much what most people get in buffs from maxing the ability of it. That's pretty huge and can do a lot of damage with that effect. On that, you also have 20% less counterattack damage in your second skill, which is the next thing you should go for. It also inflicts a slowdown on enemy targets, so it slows them down, or it lets them get stuck in the balls and they can't quite get away as fast. Then, you can probably skip her third skill, unless you're actually using her to kill barbarians and train. That's 30% increased damage to barbarians, but you don't really need it. And then you want to get her fourth skill, and her fourth skill is mainly for rallying attacks, but when you use mixed troops, it also can boost your attack by 20%. Then, finally, once you have Aethelflaed's skills done, you get to her expertise, which is the most interesting part. This is 20% increased damage to enemy troops when they're affected by slowdown. That's ridiculous. That's huge. 20% increased damage in any capacity. Really, really helpful. And you pair it with the fact that her first ability reduces their attack, defense, and health. You can actually find Aethelflaed hitting a lot harder than you'd expect in the open field. Talent trees for Aethelflaed, there are 3 main ones. This one that I'm showing here first is the Barbarian tree. And so as you can see, I've maxed out the Barbarian thing. So you can chain Barbarians, walk, you can do a lot of that because the 500 healing factor helps her stay out longer. It's great for killing Marauders and the like. Then, if you want to kill forts with her, a lot of people early game free to play. If you don't have like a Money Moto or a strong Belisarius or just any other great forts march, Aethelflaed actually can work. It's a pretty strong force march, and so this 9% is helpful. And then I went and get her leadership, 3% troop capacity. That's really good. And then, like always, rejuvenate. On the support tree, rejuvenate 150 rage whenever a skill is used. So you notice, that 30% reducted health, attack, and defense every time for 2 seconds comes back sooner, so you keep your enemies weaker. From there, also, you can go Ike Elixir, just because enhances healing effects, pairs well with Curing Chant. You don't really need it. Some people got loose formation, but really dealer's choice. Next up is the mixed troops. This is if you're trying to use the 3, so you're using the archers, cavalry, and infantry all at once. You can use siege too, but using siege, man, come on, you're better than that. In 2023, you should know not to use siege with Aethelflaed. And so what you do is you go in leadership tree. You want to get these 2 on the side: armed to the teeth and armored to the teeth. Reduces damage taken, increases damage taken when using 3 or more different troop types. Also, then you want to use this strategic prowess because it increases defense after using the skill. Then you go here, increase normal attack damage, fresh recruits, super important again, and healing herbs, although you're probably not going to be super healing, but it's on the way. Then you want to go and you just want to get to the top with Cage of Thorns. You're not going to get anything maxed out. You see everything else here, 3-3, but Cage of Thorns is only at 1. Useful ability, but not super important. What you're really looking for is Rejuvenate and Emergency Protection. You want to reduce that skill damage taken and do as much skill damage as you can. Lastly, here we have the single troop tree. So this is if you're just going to go and use one type of troop at a time. And so you're going to max out the entire support tree, Cage of Thorns to the max. You notice that you get to leadership, you don't go at all to armor to the teeth or arm to the teeth. Instead, you go and fix this. 3 to 4 strategic prowess or 4 out of 4. It's really up to you. I did not do it just because I wanted to have increased health here, but you go here, 1-1. You go all the way here, increased health, increased health. Increased health all the time is very useful, especially because health is, in my opinion, the most important stat in the game. So it's just a matter of preference, but I went for the extra health. You can also just decide you want to skip one of those and go for the boosted strategic prowess. As far as commanders that pair well with Aethelflaed, you probably use their early game. YSG is an interesting one just because skill damage pairs well. Area of effect. Otherwise, he doesn't have any abilities that hurt anything. She pairs well with pretty much any commander in the game. It's a strong secondary, or if you use a primary, you can use any commander because you can use mixed troops, so they're going to get some buff. One of the actually most interesting ones that I think people are using more of is Mehmed. Mehmed has That forward-facing fan area does damage, does extra skill damage, and he has increased troop capacity. And so I think these things, when paired together, work really, really well and actually make him a very, very good pair to Aethelflaed. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, or comment down below if you have any new ideas or things you'd like me to see go over in Rise of Kingdoms.